Good afternoon, my lovelies. What it do, what it do, what it do. This is Planet Base. Planet Base, the tree of life, Genesis 1:29, aka Virgo Networks, the animal planet, aka the daughters of Zion, aka the maidens and the virgins, aka that topaz gem sapphire coming straight from that spiker star, the brightest star of the constellation. Always have a message for you, but it's up to you to discern what I'm trying to say. Remember, I'm just outside looking into your world, seeing things that you just don't see, okay? But dig this here. The name of this is called Q&A. Q&A. Will I be a second wife? Okay. Will I be a second wife? Okay. Deuteronomy 21:15-17 in the Torah explains in detail if a man was to have a second wife. And it goes on to say that the first fruits, the firstborn is the first fruits, okay, is entitled to a double portion of the inheritance, okay? That's what it is with that. So to answer the question, no, I will not be a second wife. For the simple fact is, I'm the first fruits. And not only that I'm the first fruits, but my firstborn is entitled, okay, to a double portion of the inheritance. And not only that, but if a man was to have two wives and offer to bring me in, if the son gets a double portion of his inheritance, what will I get? What will I get for me and mine? So you think I'm just going to get hard dick and bubble gum? I'm not signing up for that. I'm the first fruits. I have to remain what and who I am. I'm the first fruits that come from forth my father's bloodline. Okay, my sperm donor of a dad. I'm the first fruits. I'm the only girl. Okay, and from my mom and him, I'm the only girl. Okay, and the oldest at that. Okay, that's what it is with that. So I'm the first fruits of harvest. There's no way the first fruits of harvest could ever be second to anybody. Okay, so with that being said, no, I will not be a second wife, okay, to nobody, because I'm the first fruits. Okay, I am what I am and who I am. That's just what it is, okay? Another thing is that polygamy in a second wife is not used outside of marriage. It has to be within a marriage covenant, okay? A lot of the worldly people try to bring polygamy. They use the word and term polygamy all over the place, okay? And they think having a boyfriend and girlfriend or having multiple sex partners is polygamy. No, it's not. It's sexual perversion, okay? Polygamy and all that is used specifically in a marriage covenant. It has to be within the marriage covenant. It's not used outside of the marriage covenant, okay? Another thing is this before I head on out of here, okay, is that when indulging in having a second wife or whatever the case may be, first of all, before I even get with that, okay, I don't share my dick with nobody, okay? That's number one. Number two, okay, when you talk about having a second wife and all that, the first wife has to lack something. Like she has to be barren, like Sarah and all that. And even when you look at Sarai and Hagar, that turned out to be a hot mess. And she ended up kicking Hagar out and sending Hagar out into the wilderness. Okay, that did not turn well. And not only that, but it only proved that Sarai did not have faith and she did not have patience. Okay, so with that being said, before I head on out of here, you gotta have patience. Okay, you gotta have patience and you gotta have faith before just start thinking and saying, oh, well, I want to be in polygamy, or I'm gonna give my husband to somebody else, or whatever the case may be, okay? And another thing is this, is that the women were pure women, okay? The outside world, the females are very nasty, they trifling, and they trashy, okay? They very trashy. So therefore, that is not polygamy, that is sexual perversion, not polygamy, okay? And again, it pays to have faith faith, obedience, and patience, okay? That's what it is with that, and not be so much in a rush for polygamy to have a second wife, okay? But I'm not sharing my dick with nobody because I don't share my meat. She can have anything she wants. She can have some fresh fruits and vegetables, okay? She can have a fresh cup of water, okay? Things like that. But I'm not sharing my meat off my plate. I don't give out meat off my plate to nobody. I don't care who it is. Okay? That's what it is with that, with me. Okay? And again, I am the first fruits, a harvest. Okay? From my dad's bloodline and my mom. Okay? I'm the only girl. Okay? That's what it is with that. So no, I will not ever be no second wife. I'm the first wife. Okay, now whatever it is he chooses to do after that, and he want to abandon me to go be with somebody else, and I just remain married. Okay, but I'm not voluntarily sharing my husband with nobody. Okay, that's what it is with that. Another thing is this, before I head on out of here, this particular cycle of life right here is called exile and slavery. Okay, so I didn't get the opportunity and the chance to experience marriage and childbearing like all the rest, like everybody else, because I didn't want to bring my children or start a bloodline up in slavery, okay, because it's a lot of work. Okay, it's a lot of work, and it's even a lot of work with myself, let alone having babies in a bloodline in slavery. I have to make sure that not only I'm secured, but I had to make sure that my children is secured and a bunch of other things, and I might have had to just start sacrificing, okay, if things didn't work out well, and I just didn't want to go through all that. Okay, so therefore, you know, once I come from out of slavery, out of exile, which is this particular cycle of life, okay, because after this right here comes the future, okay? After this present time right here comes the future, and this cycle of life is wrapping itself on up, and that's when it becomes the future. And by then I'm gonna have my own land. I'm gonna be in my own land, and wherever I'm at, that's where my land is. Okay, so yes, I'm gonna be in my own land. I'm gonna have my own everything. Okay, and it's gonna be a greater circumstance for me, a greater chance for me to have a husband, okay, and you know, start a bloodline up. You know, I'm gonna have my own everything, own house, own everything, okay? A sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous, so I'm coming off with great possessions, aka reparations, because I stood on business, okay? And that's what people get it twisted at. You gotta stand on business, and you gotta make sure that you break your generational curse by any means necessary. Otherwise, you're never going to get anything if you don't handle business, okay, and stand on business and stay true blue to yourself, okay, and stop compromising yourself, okay, for crumbs off the master's plate, because I'm not content with crumbs, okay? I gotta have it by any means necessary, whatever that is to me. And always remember, life is what I make it, and life is what you make it. You make your own life. I'm gonna make my own life, whatever it is to me that I want it to be, so it shall be. Okay? Anywho, I'm about to get on out of here, man. It's that Spiker Star, the brightest star of the constellation. Q&A. Will I be a second wife? Absolutely not. Okay? Before a wife shares her husband, okay, and before the husband even decides he wants a second wife, he need to first check how much inheritance he has to offer, because if he ain't got nothing to offer, guess what? She gonna be what? She gonna be out of luck. Okay, she ain't getting nothing, okay? And I'm not signing up for no dick and bubblegum, okay? That's what it is with that, okay? And again, if he decides to do him, he gotta abandon me, okay? He has to abandon me, not divorce, okay? Because he ain't divorcing me, okay? But he gonna abandon me, and he gonna go on and do what he want to do. But he'll be back. He'll be back, because they always be back. Anywho, Isaiah 65:17. It's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. Isaiah 65:17. The sovereign Lord is going to bring down his kingdom, down his throne, upon the new earth, and me, the maidens and the virgins, I should dwell there forevermore. You should repent for your filthy sins and break your generational curse and live a godly life and show God some respect and change your wicked ways so you can be part of this new event called the new earth. Also, he cut the heads of Leviathan and served it as food. So it's going to be a regathering, okay? And I can imagine what Leviathan tastes like, juicy and succulent. He's been in the sea for over 400 to 1,000 years. And yes, he will be served at the round table with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You should make sure that you break your generational curse by any means necessary, okay? So you can be at this round table at the feast with Leviathan, because he tastes juicy and succulent with fins and scales. Also, Exodus 20:5, he punishes the children for the sins of the parents of those who hate him. You should do everything in your willpower to secure your children's souls. Your children have beautiful souls attached to them. They do not deserve to get thrown down to the valley of Tophet, where the burning blaze never ceases, no water to quench their thirst, and the maggots, worms, and parasites never die. Your children do not deserve that, okay? Life is worth living, and they have beautiful souls. Every soul is worth saving. They do not ask for this life. You gave them this life, and this is all that you have to offer your generations of children. Is sad, okay? But hey, man, this is your generations of children. You can shake this thing however you want it, man. Life is what you make it. Anywho, I'm about to get on out of here, man. You should secure your generations of children's souls, okay? Anywho, I'm about to get on out of here, man. Will I ever be a second wife? No, absolutely not. I'm the first fruits. I have to remain the first fruits. A harvest. I'm out.